My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Slay the Spire Modded. Alright, it's silent time. Let's go. As many elites as we can possibly do. What did I do for the silent last time? I think I did an atom bomb build. Atom bomb, baby little atom bomb. Alright, so what do I want here? Random boss relic. It's appealing. Have a look at our layout for whether or not we want the Nia's Blessing, which we definitely don't. We actually can't even get a single elite with it. Lame. I'm gonna go for the boss relic. Oh. I'm gonna make myself a mod that I will just play with always, and it won't break when updates get shipped to the game, because all it's gonna do is a suggestion that was included by a viewer a couple episodes ago, and it will append to the very end of Runic Dome, gain energy, or rather it would change the description to by appending. Gain energy at the start of each turn. You can no longer see enemy intents, halve audience and viewer retention. So, alright, half might be exaggerating, but it'd be a nice little way of tracking the effect. Alright, 3 on the left, 3 on the right side, 4 on the left side. Now, as I've mentioned prior, we don't really have offensive potential early as the silent. So that's the first thing that we're going to need to get up so that we can actually start fighting those elites. Otherwise, we may have to start dodging them. Entropic Brew is pretty handy. Toxin Wave. Apply 3 necrotic to all enemies and 4 necrotic on the upgrade. Now, the problem with this is the only AoE elite fight on this floor is one that also has artifacting on each enemy. So if we ever play this, we're never going to get an effect from it. So let's also think about the actual effect that it has, right? Because when this halves, I think it halves rounding down, if I recall correctly. I'll run the 2 different scenarios, but I believe that it halves rounding down. So necrotic is a powerful poison that deals 2 damage each turn, but doesn't last as long, which means every end of turn, the stacks of necrotic on your enemy halve, as well as before that, they deal 2 times the stacks in damage. So this would deal 6 on the first tick, and then on the second tick, if it's rounding down, would deal 2, or it would deal 4 and then 2, right? So it's either 6 and 2, so 8, or 6, 4, and 2, so 12. That's unupgraded in AoE over 3 turns. And then there's Toxin Wave, which is apply 4 necrotic, so it would be 4, 8, 4, 2. 8, 4, 2. It would be 14. I don't know about that. I mean, I know it's 1 energy, but I can't help but try and compare it to the closest event that the closest card that currently exists in the game, Crippling Cloud. 2 energy, exhaust on usage. Obviously, this is an exhaust, and it's 1 energy, so we'll have to make affordances for that. But the Crippling Cloud is applied 2 weaken to all enemies, as well as 7 poison to all enemies on its upgraded version. Right, so it's 7 plus 6 plus 3, 7 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1 in terms of damage on enemies. So 7 plus 3 is 10, 6 plus 4 is 10, 5 and 1 is 6. So it's 26 total. Right? It's 26 total, right? It's probably 27, 28. I don't know. I've messed up my math because I know that, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is 15 total, so 21's 28. Okay, it's 28. Right. It's a lot more damage over a longer time, but the thing is, it beats this in damage on the second tick, right? Because this is 4 does 8, the other one 7 does 7 on the first turn, so that one's slightly lower there. But then on the second turn, that one does 6, whereas this one does 4. And then on the third turn, interesting. I think I also used this a while ago, back in its original incarnation, although I can't exactly remember what it was at the time. I think I'll take it. because we need to start taking offensive picks. The fact that it doesn't exhaust is something that turned me around a little on that, because I wasn't thinking about the fact that without exhaust, it can be played multiple times. Although, since it doubles, right? The damage dealt is double the necrotic poison stacks. You are much more incentivized, to overuse a word, to stack as much necrotic poison as you possibly can, as quickly as you possibly can as well, because it decays faster. All right. Okay, let's have a quick look-see here. There's good cards here. I could take dodge and roll and backflip, but the thing is, if I'm hunting elites on the first floor, I need to be less defensive, more aggressive, and then turn that back on itself. Oh, 2 fluid movements. So that would give me 10 retain? Still don't want it. We've got Mirror here as a new relic. This is from Replay the Spire. Whenever you gain vulnerability or weakened, it is also applied to the enemy that sent it. There's also Garlic, which is enemies lose 3 strength at the start of combat. They gain 1 strength over the next 3 turns. So it's like an inversion of Onion Ring. There's also a new poison here, which is Toxic Potion. Apply 5 necrotic poison to all enemies. Hell, my card, when upgraded, won't do that. Retain Leap and Go for the Eyes over Survivor and Neutralize. Ugh. So Survivor is discard a card for 1 energy, gain 8 block. Leap is do none of those, gain 9 block for 1 energy. And then Neutralize is weaken an enemy for 0 as well as deal 3 damage. Go for the Eyes is deal 3 damage and weaken an enemy only if they intend to attack this turn. And I won't even be able to see if they intend to attack, courtesy of the Runic Dome. I'm going to transform and upgrade a random card. Ooh, Crippling Cloud. What was turned into it? It looks like a Strike was turned into the Crippling Cloud. Okay. I'm just going to defend as much as I possibly can here. 15 is the maximum damage they can deal this turn, and that's if the front... Oh, right, never mind, they're both weakened. If they were both unweakened, the front one did 5 and the back one did 10, so they didn't do any extra effect. They just went for damage. So you're taking 6 and 6, you're taking 12, so I actually can't even kill you this time. Okay. Oh, I didn't look how the poison's working. So the other one died to what I think is its second? Crumbs. All right, I'll have to look at how the necrotic poison decays in the next match. Well, I mean, if we're doing poison... All right, fine. Fine. I mean, we also transformed a Strike, so we're a little more capable of doing this than otherwise we might be. Okay, well, on the first turn, they always attack for 11. Look, when it's not immediately obvious, I will tell you what I think the enemy is going to do. This turn, we have no clue. There's frankly no information. They won't be attacking for the same amount, so they don't attack for 11 again. Yeah, they attacked for 5. Cool. I think I can just leave the enemy to die to its poison right now. If it's relevant, I'll especially tell you. When I don't tell you what the enemy is doing, oftentimes it's because either it's irrelevant or it's not pre-scripted, so I can't tell you. These super are, right? So the middle will be attacking this turn. The front and back will be putting 2 dazeds into my discard pile. And then they'll invert and they'll just keep doing that. So I know that 8 damage is coming in this turn. Deals 60 damage, lose 12 HP. Not bad. So I know that only 8 damage is coming in this turn, so I only defend twice there. I know 16 damage is coming in next turn. So Footwork plus Survivor is 10. Weakening everyone means they'll be doing 6 and 6. So I also need to use the Essence of Steel if I want to stay perfect in this fight. Because I'll need 12 block, because the frontliner and the backliner will deal 6 each. We should have 2 block left over. Go. So again, it's only going to be 6 this turn. So I could actually just go like all aggressive, but it's not going to make a difference either way. I'm actually going to weaken the backliner here. And the reason for that is because the frontliner I'm going to be targeting to kill next turn, whereas the backliner is going to be weakened next turn because I'm going to leave them there. Cool. So that's 8 plus 5. 8 plus 5 is represented 13. So that's a kill on that target. I actually just have to load as much damage into the backline of theirs as humanly possible. Looks like we're going to perfect this fight. Unfortunately, because 4 is an even number, I can't tell whether or not it's rounding up or rounding down anymore for the necrotic poison. Ancient Tea set, whenever you enter a rest site, start the next combat with extra energy. I would love to do a grand finale deck one of these days, because I haven't done one since it was buffed to be 0 cost. That said, it's also really difficult to make a grand finale deck. Happy Flower, every 3 turns, gain an energy. Beautiful. I mean, that's a pretty good opening turn. Enemy this turn is just going to be buffing itself, giving itself enrage. And then this turn onwards, unreliable. Don't know what they're doing. Okay, so that was just a straight up hit. If you're wondering why I'm playing the defenses now, I'm playing the ones that aren't just 5 defense. Because I suspect, as seems to be proven here, that we'll be killing before I would be making a net loss on my HP. Thread and Needle. At the start of each combat, gave 5 plated armor. Well, I guess this is where the deck really ought to pivot to, because when you have Runic Dome, the best way to play your deck, or rather the best decks for Runic Dome, because usually you define your deck and then get the Runic Dome rather than the inverse, is you want a defensive deck where you don't care what the enemy's doing, right? It doesn't matter to you. You're playing Solitaire. You play all of your defensive cards, and you also play your poisons, and you just wait. Wait them out. And this is obviously excellent for that, right? Thread and Needle at the start of each combat gain 5 plated armor. I don't need any of these. Yeah, I'm not even taking the deadly poison. Keep your pants and upgrade defend, or lose my pants and lose them. I'll upgrade the defend. I like that event. It's a nice little thinning technique. Potion belt. Upon pickup, gain 2 potion slots. Handy. Ouch. So you'll be... Depends how you round. Damn it. I think this will be 10, then 4, then 2. 10, 4, 2 is 16. So it's definitely the Crippling Cloud I want. Okay. Because again, I'm going to have to remove some artifacting here. Okay, that also means that only 16 damage is incoming this... 12 damage is incoming this turn. Weaken you. And then this is just to try and get you all on relatively nearby HP values. And also the weaken on the midline was to make sure that the sentry will die this turn. I mean, also I can just do this. Perfect. And wait. Excellent. All right, my voice is incredibly red raw at the moment. I have tonsillitis, but like I kind of still have to make videos, so I'm kind of trying to relax my voice in the moment. So I'm gonna need you to paint a mental picture, and it's a picture of a sound, so probably a mental sound. And construct this in your mind palace, if you will, of me singing lovingly at length about this bowl. Wasn't that a lovely experience that we just shared that I definitely created and you definitely didn't have to imagine? First attack here is either 12 or 7. It's 12 just straight up, or it's 7 with a weakness. It was 5 there because we also weakened our enemy. So the enemy is also incapable of dealing damage to me this turn. They only have that 7 and the 12 as their attacks, at least. And that's it. That's all she wrote. I could be convinced to get another Crippling Cloud here. All right. And will be, in fact. Footwork upgrade is actually pretty necessary. Beautiful. I mean, I just get to play all of these, right? First turn, you're just doing the self buff. Or self buff, you're summoning all of those. Now, on this turn, you'll be attacking for... This is interesting. It is... Oh, God, it's difficult to tell, right? It is... current HP value... -2... divided by 10 floored. So I believe you'll be attacking for 6x6 this turn, which is 36. And with the weakness, you'll be doing 4x6 instead, which is 24. Right? So if I defend and survive, I'll defend for 19, and then my plated armor should defend me for the full 24. So if I'm correct, we'll take no damage here. Perfect. That's why sometimes when you're going up against the Hexaghost, and like, what if you have like an aggressive deck that can deal a lot of damage really, really quickly, but can't take that much damage, doesn't have that much block? Sometimes it's correct to not rest before this fight so that you can perfect this fight, because you'll still be able to block on turn 2. If you've got like 11 or less HP, I believe, on turn 2, the enemy will only do 1x6, which is super easy to block. These turns are less well determined, but a lot of our, again, because of the extra energy from the Runic Dome, a lot of our hands don't really care. Right? Like, they just play the whole hand, so no real reason to deviate. Especially if we can keep the weakness up. So this turn is usually not a particularly large attack. I'm gonna wing it. This turn could be bad. Actually, it really ought not be. I mean, you're weakened. You've only got 2 extra strength, but the second attack is usually just 3x6. So 3x6 would become 5x6, would get weakened down to 3x6. So you should do 18 if I'm correct here. Uh-oh. Oh, it was 18. I was correct. I've got to learn to believe in me. This is a problem. If I do want to kill flawlessly here, because this turn is almost certainly, if I recall correctly, 7, just a straight up 7 hit, the 2 burns will remove my block, and then I'll have 5 plated armor, and then I'll lose it. So I'm actually going to throw the death potion here. I take 12 damage, but that hopefully is counted as self damage, which doesn't prevent you from getting perfects. Nightmare is interesting in this deck. I'm actually thinking about it. Like, we've already got AoE, and we don't really attack. That's not how we deal damage. Yeah, I'm gonna take Nightmare. Like, maybe I would use it on footwork, but I'm more looking at Toxin Wave, right? If I can get a bunch of upgraded Toxin Waves in the game, it's gonna be ridiculous. So this is from Replay the Spire. I also have a fraught history with this relic, in that this is the Ring of Chaos. Some card rewards have randomly altered stats and effects. I believe that it was confirmed by, I think, Astro Penguin at the time, that there is a bounding, effectively, that makes sure that they don't get too crazy in any direction. Except Sword Boomerang was capable of being like 1 energy deal 100 damage, and I just completely missed it. because I was expecting it's the old sword boomerang, right? It showed up and all of my viewers saw it and they were really, really sad that I didn't get the sword boomerang that was ridiculously broken. And in retrospect, so am I. But I'll also take this just for the new and fascinating effect. So now every card is going to have to be read out. Yay! My voice is going to die. All right. How many elites can I get? 2 and 2. 2 and 3. 4. Okay. Kind of bound to a path now. Worst case scenario is they're all attacking on turn 1, but they never attack with their larger hit on turn 1. They either buff on turn 1, which is buff their strength by 1, or they do 1 by 5 their attack. If we play the Crippling Cloud, they shouldn't be able to do anything about it, right? Because when you weaken 1 damage, it becomes 0. So while I will play a defense here, it is fundamentally my belief that 0 damage is going to come in this turn. See what I mean? Now this turn onwards, there's no telling. So I'm just going to play defensive. Cool. At least I get to weaken him again this turn. God, I hope they all buff this turn. So 8 plus 9, you're dead. 8 plus 9. Look, 8 plus 9 is 17. So a single strike there and a single strike. Okay, that bird could be a problem. Thankfully, you're not buffed. Ugh. You did your 9 damage attack. That's the worst you could have done. So I could have avoided 4 damage there if I didn't have the Runic Dome. That's, of course, assuming that I had a different energy relic as well so that I could do this build. Strength Potion, they're probably just going to kind of rot in a... I didn't look at them. All right, this is going to be difficult because I love the Seeing Bowl and I have a reflex of using the Seeing Bowl whenever I see cards that are garbage, right? But Ring of Chaos is going to incentivize me to have another look at those cards just in case. So I'll try, but you have to understand I have like 800 hours of wiring telling me I already know what that is, skip it. This is actually a really, really interesting one. Iron Hammer. During the first turn, drawing a card upgrades it. Now, right now, it's not that great for us because the cards that are really important in our deck we've already upgraded. Crippling Cloud, Footwork. We've got another Crippling Cloud, but how likely we'd have that in our opening hand. Nightmare, you are... Yeah, you just become 2 costs. Okay. I actually kind of want to go for the Frozen Egg. And primarily the reason behind that is there's a bunch of other things that we would pick up in this deck. Specifically, After Image, we would definitely pick up. We would definitely pick up Footworks. Again, we would also pick up Noxious Fumes. So those would come pre-upgraded, and they're also priority upgrades, so... I could see that. I can also see taking that and then just taking Fluid Movement, because if I do take the Frozen Egg, I can't take a card removal. I have exactly 1 too few to do it. Also, none of the cards in here are... Okay. Card rewards. Got it. None of the cards in here are card rewards. But this is also really cool when you have like Ring of the Snake and as well as... Ryan, remember the name of the thing? Bag of Preparation? Your first 9 cards are always just buffed. Or if you have like a bunch of cards in your deck that are innate that you haven't yet upgraded, it just cheats a bunch of upgrades in it. It's real cool. It's real cool. I always thought that there should be more relics that are related to upgrading. Because as it stands, like Whetstone and... what's the other one? I can't remember its name for the life of me. It looks like a thermos? I'll never forget the old description to Prayer Wheel, but I can't remember the name of the relic for the life of me. You know what? I will actually take Frozen Egg Fluid Movement. Awesome. Ugh, this enemy. Okay, so this enemy has 6x2 attacks. Also has 10 damage attacks that heal when any of the damage is unblocked. And the final thing they have is like a giant attack, like a 15 damage attack or something like that, but it's super rare. Whatever, I'm gonna weaken you. I'm just gonna get a bunch of toxin waves. So we've got 10 here. We should be pretty much protected against any of your attacks. Yeah, that was the 10 damage and did nothing. I mean, this is also as much defense as I could play, ignoring the possibility of playing Crippling Cloud to weaken. Yeah, there's the 6x2. I mean, at this point, we have a bunch of... Okay, so it is rounding down. It just went from 7 to 3. Good. I mean, not good, but it's good that I know that now. No longer a false assumption under which to labor. That'll murder him. Ooh, Ring of Thingy happened. Alright, so we've got Dagger Spray, which is... Dagger Spray? So it's 20 damage AoE for 2? I mean, it still doesn't fit with our deck, so we're not taking it, but... I wonder if that would be a reasonable card if printed. But it's 2 energy. I'm trying to compare it to like its closest things, which are other AoE cards that cost 1. Can I even think of like an AoE card that costs... Well, I mean, I guess Crippling Cloud, but Crippling Cloud, a lot of it is the weakness that it applies. I'll keep thinking of that. Ooh, Divine Protection. Gain 8 temporary HP at the start of combat. So if that's eaten through, you're fine. Cool. This one is weird. Sneak Up. Gain 2 intangible, discard 1 card. So discard 1 card means you're choosing. Cool. Innate, Exhaust, Ethereal. There's so many dang keywords on this. You upgraded to remove the discard. But what? Does that upgrade do anything though? Because like if it discards a card, you just play it at the end of your turn. And if it discards a card rather than a random card, I mean like this has been something that has been of contention between Lolash and I. And Lolash was totally correct. It was my initial hesitation after the rework on... Oh, God. It's a silent card as well. It's 1 energy. It's like... It's Reckless Flurry? No, it's a warrior card in Hearthstone. Whatever it is 1 energy, deal 10 damage, discard a card at random. Deal 10 damage to all enemies, discard a card at random. And then the upgrade is 14 damage. And I was looking at it like, I mean, why not just get Dagger Spray instead? Like, this is comparable. And he was like, I mean, it's better than Dagger Spray. And it also triggers in a single hit, so enemies that are malleable don't get extra benefit from it. But even better than, also it doesn't double trigger Thorns, which is actually a real point of contention. But even more than that, you just play it as the last card. Unless you have other cards in hand that discard cards by necessity of playing them, just play your discard card as the last one. So I guess that's what Sneak Up's upgrade is helpful for. If you have other cards that discard cards, you can't play both. I don't think I'll take... I'm taking another Fluid Movement. I think we can gain defense so readily that it's fine. Well, we're actually going to be skipping the defend here. I will be using my regen potion, though. This fight... I mean, I can't tell you that much. This guy has a 7 damage weaken. This guy only has 7 damage, add a wound to your discard pile. This one has Entangle, but it can never use that on the first turn. The Entangle is no damage, but it will prevent you from being able to play anything except for skills and powers, or rather it will prevent you from being able to play with attack cards. And also has like a high damage, I think it's like 13 with an add. No, it's not 13. It's 7 with an add of vulnerability. It's called Scrape. So you have Scrape, you have Rake, and then both of you have 12s, but those 12s usually get amplified by the vulnerability applied from Scrape. That's a 12, a 7, and that looks like the backliner was trying to do a 12 as well. Not super excited by this fight, but I was never going to perfect this one. These guys deal a ridiculous amount of damage. I would be extraordinarily confused were I capable of perfecting this fight. Ouch, that's a lot of damage. And the vulnerability got applied again this turn. Yikes. I definitely should have hit the backliner once there. It's my bad. Thankfully, it's not going to matter. How did you go up in poison? When necrotic poison leaves, does it become one just poison tick? I'll have a closer look at that. Your innate cards and refund one. Sorry, your innate cards rather have refund 1 and draw 1 card. Wow. That's insane. Right? Okay, I believe that there was a clarification in the comments of last episode by the Evil Pickle that refund cards can only refund energy put into casting them. Because I think it was a discussion of Demonic Infusion. If you can cast it, because it's an X-cost card that has refund 1. If you cast it for 0, does it give you an energy back? So I think it can only refund energy that you put into it. So this is not going to necessarily refund any energy off of backstabs. But it will draw a card off of a backstab. So you're just opening with a bunch of extra damage. This is interesting. That could change our build. I mean, Sneak Up is free now. It is gain an intangibility on the first turn. Innate Exhaust Ethereal. Sure, it discards a card, but the upgrade is remove that. Let's go. Let's actually go. I mean, it's intangibility on the first turn, right? But pair that with the fact that we have Thread and Needle. There are so few enemies that attack, like enemy sets that attack more than 5 times on the first turn, right? Which would bypass the 5 plated armor from Thread and Needle. So I definitely want that, and I'll play that, discard that. Oh yeah. Okay, you attacked the last 2 turns, which means you're not attacking this turn. So I'm gonna get some more crippling poisons. This guy just attacks it in a 7x3, then a 7x3, then applies 2 frailty and 2 weakness to you, and then goes back to the 7x3s. So if you're weakened, you're actually 5x3, which means you're dealing 15. I'm blocked currently for 8. Damn. Well, 8 plus the 5, 13, but I'm still short, is what I'm saying. Ouch. Whoa, you went back to... Huh? You went back to spores? It's supposed... I'm actually really confused. I thought it was always the 7x3. Although you can run into that fight at any point in that chain. So it can be doing a 7x3, it can be doing its second 7x3, or it can be doing enfeebling spores. But I thought it was always 2 7x3s in a row. Looks like I was wrong. Glad to be wrong, but looks like I was. None of these have been changed in any fashion. Oh, yikes. Let's get rid of that strike. That's not the kind of thing I was looking for. And yes, you'll get slapped if you're looking... Whoa. Sneaky gremlin. Gonna get you down, because otherwise you'd be dealing 9 damage. You're dealing 4. You could be attacking. You could be buffing. That's the only 2 things you could be doing. Unfortunately, I'll never know. Oh, right, never mind. I'm intangible this turn, of course. Also, it's worth noting that intangibility is ethereal, so I can't just not use it. Yay! Oh god, that's a lot of stuff on the board. As much as I desperately want to be able to play my footworks, I think because of the amount of things on the board, it is extraordinarily necessary that we just double play those cripplings. Get that poison out there. So since there's 2 enemies on the field when you started your turn, Gremlin Leader in the backline, I know for a fact that you're going to be hitting me this turn. And you have 6x3 as your base, so you're currently trying to do 12x3, but you're weakened. 12 goes down to 8, right? 25% less damage, so 12 goes down to 9. So I need to defend for 27 this turn. Just gonna be short by exactly 1. So I should take 1 damage here if I'm correct. Yep, I took exactly 1 damage. You can't attack 2 turns in a row, so I know that, like, I could play those defends, but this is my hubris. I don't need to do it because I know I don't need to do it. I'm actually going to use a strength potion here because we are going to find rough times trying to use them legitimately over the course of this. But that allowed me to kill one of the shield gremlins with just 2 hits, that is. Okay, you could be attacking or not this turn. Never mind, you're summoning. Handy. Ah, work. Ooh. 13 in backline? Yeah, 13, and then I'll just double defend. And then we're just waiting out the backline. Beautiful. These shield gremlins only attack when they're the final things on the field, so I know that there's nothing they could really do to me. All right, we lost 1 damage. We took 1 damage that entire fight, rather. Whetstone upon pickup, upgrade 2 random attacks. I'll make sure that I look at my stuff first. Poison Stab would go... That's not enough. Take the max HP and then the Whetstone. We don't take the Whetstone first, just in case. Chameleon Ring. Your potions are more potent. You can now brew at rest sites. This is actually... I wonder if this was somewhat inspired by a bunch of ideas that were being thrown around in the past for the remaking of the Cauldron, which is a shop-only relic that you've almost certainly never seen in this series. Or even in my main series, in fact. Because it's garbage. It just gives you 5 potions on pickup, but it costs too much, right? And also the potions might be bad. I mean, it got better with the potion update and with the fact that there's, you know, a potion belt as well as different and better potions in the game, but still kind of garbage. But Chameleon Ring. Okay, this supplies 4. That's 7. That's 3. Okay, cool. I'm so tempted to Nightmare the Sneak Up. I'm doing it. It's the correct thing to be doing. I just make myself intangible for a ridiculous amount of turns. And these are all just going to refund my energy. And they even cycle me through my deck. I mean, like, come on. Okay, so this enemy, Book of Stabbing, has a 21 damage attack, as well as a 6x attack. X starts at 2 and then increments every single time that the Book of Stabbing uses that attack. So I should have been tracking what attacks they were using for the past couple turns, but I should be able to get back in the rhythm here really quickly. What are you doing here? 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. So the next one could be 6x4 or it could be 21. That said, they are weakened, so the 21 goes down to 15 and the 6x4 goes down to 4x4. Also, I'm intangible this turn, so it's not going to do anything. With 5 energy, there's no reason not to play all of them. For energy, there's no reason not to play all of them. That's it. We're defending for a ridiculous amount per turn, and we're also keeping a lot of defense each turn. From the fluid movements, they were actually pretty good pickups. Pet Ghost. Add a ghost card to your hand every turn. We'll talk about this in play. Ooh. Footwork, obviously. Okay, brew. Brew 2 random potions. I'm going to upgrade Sneak Up because, let's be real, I want to get more of them. And then when I have more of them, I'm going to want them to not have that downside. Nightmare exists in my hand. I'm really, really pleased about that. Okay. Okay, so the Pet Ghost just gives you basic type cards. This is the old art for the Defects Defend upside down, I think. I can't be certain. I think that's what it is. Anyway, all of these enemies can only deal 3 damage to me maximum this turn, so whatever. I'll just style on him. Okay, no effects got applied to us. Time for us to start sneaking up. Just get all of our energy back. We've got intangibility for a bunch of turns. If we can bottled lightning that Nightmare, this can be ridiculous. And then, oh shit, do bottled things count as innate? No, they just start in your opening hand. They don't count as technically innate. Right, of course. Damn. But still. Ooh, fun idea. Okay. I mean, I'm intangible for another 2 turns. I don't have to care what you do until then. Oh, this feels so devious. I love it. I do kind of semi-desperately want to pick up more Toxin Waves. Because I really wanted this to be a necrotic poison run. Okay, do Voodoo for each curse in your deck. Start each combat with additional strength. We're not really ever going to be able to use that. Sneaky Strike. Deal 5 damage if you've discarded a card this turn. Gain 2 energy, and the upgrade is 9. You know what? That card becomes good when it's 1 energy. Because it's like, the previous version is 2 energy, and it also gains you 2 energy when you do it successfully. So at best, it's neutral, and it doesn't even deal that much damage. This doesn't deal that much damage, but it gives you a refund of energy if you're doing it correctly. And it's especially good because Acrobatics is one of the best draw cards that exists for the Silent, and it discards a card. And it would activate Sneaky Strike, as well as give you all of the cards that are going to benefit from the extra energy that you have. It doesn't fit in this deck, though. Take the Crippling Cloud. I'm a little tempted to take another fluid movement, I've got to be honest. I don't want to take a catalyst, but like I could. But the thing is, I would, number one, have to draw it after all of my Crippling Clouds. But all of my Crippling Clouds exhaust, so eventually the enemies on the field don't have that much poison on it. You know what? Catalyst doesn't need to give someone 400 poison for it to be good. It just needs to give someone like a reasonable amount of poison, so. Let's judge it on its own terms, right? God, this opening is insane. Choose a basic card from your draw pile and put it into your hand. Guess we'll take attack. Okay. Sneak up, sneak up, sneak up. We do need to play the fluid movement. Mm-hmm. And again, another fluid movement out there. Since I'm intangible, I'm just stacking defense while all of this is happening. And we're intangible for one final turn. I'm just trying to equalize their HP. As best I can, damn it. And that'll do, pig. That'll do. Hell yeah. Slice! 1 energy, deal 13. 1 energy, deal 16. It's actually pretty good. Like, in terms of 1 energy, deal damage cards, it's not bad. I mean, like, think of the gold standard for the Silent being 1 energy, deal 8 damage twice, upgrade to deal 12 damage twice. 24. I mean, it does beat this by a lot, and also it benefits from strength twice, but, like, for a common card, this is unnaturally good. I could take another fluid movement. It wouldn't be bad. I'm very much tempted to brew here, but I also realize that I need to smith the Nightmare. Because I've got a lot of powers in my deck that I can now Nightmare, so having a lower cost Nightmare is real good. I'm going to use a strength potion this fight, because this fight could actually be kind of annoying. Oh, wow, you're innate exhaust, so you'll draw a card for me. Thank you. So I don't have intangibility this turn. You two attack for like 7, and then you attack for a number that I never remember. So I do need to weaken broadly. I also need to play Toxin Wave every time it comes up. And in fact, I kind of had to do that. There go my 2 fluid movements. Real sad to see him go. So you both attack for 5, because that's 7 with a weakness. It has to be Nightmare Crippling Cloud. It really does. I need the ability to stack that poison high so that the catalyst can be a catalyst of destruction. You've attacked 2 turns in a row without doing a debuff, so that means this turn you have to do something else, Collector. So I don't need to do anything this turn. There's your debuff. It is possible for the enemy, I believe, to do 2 debuffs in a row, but I'm not going to count on it. So it's time for a speed potion. Because this hit, especially due to our vulnerability, is usually quite large. Ah, you defended. I'm sorry. I've never been madder to see someone just defend themselves. We could take damage this turn. And we didn't. All right, of course, the weakness we've stacked on the enemy. Somehow forgot about that. And Catalyst. Give me Catalyst. I swear I put one in my deck. It was just a while ago. I had a conniption over it. There we go. All right. We have after image upgraded. I remember you. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough energy to make that really worthwhile for me though, because I need to spend my energy on it. Wow, die. It upgrades for 4 more damage. It's so minor, but 40 damage to all enemies exhaust. It's definitely worth it. It does. It's just my concern as always, does it go in this deck? And it doesn't. After Image does, which is directly next to it and is way better for our deck. Consider this is innate. It will draw me a card and give me the energy back. It's so good for us. And it comes pre-upgraded, courtesy of our frozen egg. We even name-checked it when we got the frozen egg. We got trouble, boss. I don't want to take Sozu because I have more powerful potions. But it's like, we also need the extra energy and it's like a really good option here. I mean, none of the other ones come with any extra energy, so. We've also got Calling Bell, which is gain 3 relics, as well as obtain 3 curses. Those 3 curses would give us 3 extra energy, but we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 cards in a deck of 25 that actually would benefit from that extra strength, right? All of the rest of them are block cards or poison cards or, you know, powers. So, and then there's Tiny House, which is obtain a potion, raise your max HP by 5, gain 30 gold, obtain 1 card, upgrade 1 random card. It's not great, but it's not bad. You take it when the other ones have downsides you don't want to withstand. I have to take Sozu. I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I have 2 energy relics, including Potion Belt and Chameleon Ring. Sorry, 2 relics that synergize with potions. But I need the extra energy so that I can pay for all of the defense that I need to play. So I've always got to remind myself to use After Image first, not only so that I get the benefit of After Image, but also so that I have the extra possibility of drawing something like Nightmare that will work with the Sneak Up. So I'm already fully defended this turn. I can carry across some damage the next turn, but I'm not guaranteed to. Actually, never mind. We take 3 damage here, maximum. Excellent. Apparently only the backline and frontline Darklings can hit you multiple times. I'm saying it queryingly because I'm querying whether or not it's true. So you hit twice, you hit once, backline only hit once. So if the middle line ever hits twice, we know that we've been had. We've been rused. Again, I'm trying to keep all of their HP values relatively near one another so that they all leave the field at the same time. That'll do it. I mean, dodge and roll is really good, but we also have fluid motion to kind of do that for us. When we have both of our footworks out, dodge and roll is gain 10 block next turn, 1 energy. And that's without the upgrade. We have to take dodge and roll. I was trying to not take it, but we have to. Calibers would be ridiculous for this build, but I guess like fluid. I wonder how it would work with fluid movement, right? Start of your turn, lose 15 block rather than all of your block. So fluid movement makes you lose all of your block because it disappears, right? And then it comes back, right? The amount that you had left over from the previous turn under the retained value of it. Right? So I wonder how it would work with calipers, because you wouldn't lose all of it. So the carry forward... you know what? I can't actually even tell you. Art of War is actually ridiculous for us. If you don't play any attacks during your turn, gain an extra energy next turn. We don't really play attacks, and we can play fewer attacks, even more. I'm doing it. I'm going to lose 66 gold in order to gain the Red Mask. The Red Mask is apply 1 week to all enemies at the start of each combat. That's pretty good. Actually, it's not even necessary for me because I always play my intangibility card at the start of every single combat. And intangibility actually overrides weak. If an enemy was going to deal 0 damage and then you make yourself intangible, they will deal 1. They upgrade their damage. It's insane. You know, the interesting thing here is it's actually better than Nightmare After Image here. Now, hear me out. The reason you would Nightmare After Image here is because at some point, I'm going to need to attack the Spiker. Is that true? That's not true. That's not true. I should have played the After Image first there. I would have 1 more block. Not that it's going to matter, but I would have 1 more block. Delightful. I really like this Byrd skull. I would love to do like a backstab super heavy build with it. I think that'd be really cool. Actually, you know what? While I could have chosen not to attack there, I think I might need to. because this backliner is going to explode soon. Oh no, but I'm probably going to still be intangible on the turn that you explode, because this is the turn you explode, deal 30 damage to me. There we go. Match over. Upgraded choke. You would definitely have to have bullet time to play this. Like, the previous one cost 2, and that's a little bit prohibitive, right? Because you need to play a bunch of cards after it, so you need ridiculous energy generation, or you need, like, a kind of broken combo, or you need bullet time and a full hand. This feels like it compounds that issue. Obviously, the card here for us is Adrenaline. This is a shame. Quantum Egg. Whenever a card is created in combat, it is upgraded. So that would work for... I mean, it would upgrade cards that are given back by Nightmare, but I believe it was clarified that Quantum Egg doesn't upgrade cards that are already upgraded. So, like, if I Nightmare Toxin Wave, it's not going to give me a Toxin Wave +2, right? It's not going to give another upgrade to that. I don't believe, at least. Again, I could be wrong, and if there is anyone that is working on, especially Replay the Spire, considering that is the major mod that I'm featuring at the moment, if there is anyone that is working on that watching, feel free to correct me if I'm ever wrong, and feel free to do so in the harshest terms. I quite like this mod. After image, then... Hell yeah! This is exactly what I was talking about before. I play the after image first, just in case I get the Nightmare for the sneaker. This enemy has attacks of 13, but 13 would be weakened to 10. And also, any damage would be removed by the intangibility, so... This kind of fight is why we have Catalyst. Because with these kinds of fights available, it's just eventually going to be necessary, let's be real. So I can carry 24 block. Wow, I think I took a damage there. No, I must have had 7. Oh no, it wasn't 1 damage. It was I took 1 damage against my block, of course. These are the kinds of fights for which we have Catalyst, because the enemy has a ridiculous health pool. But because we don't have, like, consistent... That is to say, consistent poison generation, it can be difficult. God, I want more Toxin Waves. Why can't I find any more Toxin Waves? Again, I would be playing the Survivor first, but it discards a card, so it would discard the Strike, so... I'm quite saddened now that I don't have the ability to... One sec. Actually, quite saddened now that I don't have the ability to... Never mind. Brain ran out of function again. Good lord. I am amazed that I remember how to breathe sometimes. That is to say, sometimes I am amazed by that fact, rather than I am amazed that only sometimes I remembered how to breathe. Mm-hmm. If I played this in the right order, would it have killed? Yes. Would have killed in the wrong order as well. Arrowhead. I was going to talk about this relic a lot earlier when I was talking about upgrades. I think it was when I was picking up the frozen egg for some reason. Yes, because the hammer card was next to it. The hammer that I can't remember the name of. Maxwell's hammer? It was Power Hammer? I think it's like Power Hammer. Sledgehammer? Might be that. I can't recall. But Arrowhead, this is a relic about which, like, it's super understated in its effect, but I got super excited to see this early on when I first played Replay the Spire. Because upgrading 2 cards whenever you smith is GD insane. I mean, it's not going to be good for us right now, but still. Heal Hook. Deal 3 enemy. Deal 3 enemy. If the damage is weak, gain energy and draw a card. Deal 3 damage if the enemy is weak. Gain 1 energy and draw a card. It's also 0 cost, right? So it's a refund of energy. And everyone's weak basically every turn, right? Because we have the red mask initially applying it, and then we have the clouds afterwards doing it. It will invalidate my Art of War energy for the next turn, but it gives me an energy itself as well as a card draw. So it more than makes up for that. I'm tempted to brew, but at the same rate. Oh, of course I can't brew. I got Sozu. So smith time. We will smith the adrenaline, definitely, for the extra energy. And we will smith the catalyst. We'll kill the lower HP target first. Just because it's going to be easier. And these enemies ramp up every single turn. So I'll give you the easiest way to describe the attack patterns of these enemies. These enemies, on their first turn, have the ability to deal 10 damage and add a burn to your draw pile as well as your discard pile. Or they can deal 15 damage. And then every turn they get 3 extra strength. And they just do that. So there you go. Like, it is real simple what these guys do. It's like this turn, I know that, you know, maximum damage, if I hadn't weakened them, would have been 18 by 236. They're both weakened, and their max damage is 21 this turn, so their max damage, if they both go for the big hit, is 30 this turn. Because 21 weakened rounds down to 15. See? You did 15, you did 12 because you did the poison effect. Which is annoying, how dare you. Really glad that I have these fluid movements to try and smooth out my defense on the turns that I don't actually get as much as I really would like. Yep. It's the first damage we've taken in this match. While I know this will result in me taking more damage in the short run, I decided not to catalyst the backline. So I took 21 more damage than I should have taken this fight, but I ended the fight a lot earlier. And that has a value as well. Because the front line was only going to ramp more out of control. On Troshka, the next 2 chests you open contain 2 relics. I think we're past the chest on this. No, never mind. Chest is next. Beautiful. Ooh, there's also 2 question mark cards. 24 damage, draw a card. This is its upgraded version as well, yes. Let's think about this for a second. 24 damage, draw a card. What's it closest to? 2 energy, doesn't have a refund element. It's like a smaller but immediate effect of Predator. But a lot of the time what you want from Predator is the fact that it has a delayed effect. That's pretty good. But again, it's another attack we don't want to put in this deck. It's also too expensive for this deck. And then there's Endless Agony. Again. Okay. Quick Slash is better in my opinion here. It looks like the bounds for those may have been let roll out a little bit, which I appreciate. Perfect amount of gold. Ninja Scroll. Start each combat with 3 shivs in hand. I wonder if those... They're not going to count as a name. They're definitely not going to upgrade from the hammer. I don't believe. Omamori, negate the next 2 curses you obtain, because it's the cards you draw in your first turn are affected by the hammer, and these aren't drawn, they're generated. We'll see how this goes. Let's see. So shivs do not count. As I'd assumed they wouldn't. Oh, I messed that up, didn't I? Yeah, I should have gone and ghost fetched for the neutralize before I... No, wait, but he would have had 2 artifacting. This is the spherical guardian in the backline. Would have had 2 artifacting on him. So even if I fished for neutralize and neutralized first, the poison effect of the crippling cloud happens first. So it would be artifacted, so would the neutralize, and then 2 weak would be applied. But that's the same thing the neutralize does. Okay, never mind. There was not a significant ordering misplay in that style, at least. There may have been a different misplay, but not the misplay that I thought it was. And you're dead as Disco. Okay. Sneaky strike upgrade. That's garbage. It's real garbage. I mean, that whole turn was kind of garbage, but at the very least I know that I'm going to have all of my poisons active before I need to consider Catalyst. You know, nightmaring that heal hook is not a bad idea. Because the enemy is going to be weak for a long time yet. So ideally, I want to play all non-attack things first. Okay. And then, yeah, bunch of defense. All right. I mean, it cycled me through my deck. It didn't really do damage, though. It's fine, though. It's not what I wanted from it. Don't believe we have more poison in our deck. Yeah, we don't. Cool. So that was the time to use our Catalyst. No damage first, then lowest damage second. Just keep evolving like that. All right. Smaller damage, larger damage, larger damage. We've got this. In the palm of our hand. Two turns from the kill, probably. Right, with just any reasonable never mind. We've already got it. Beautiful. Pen Dip. Excuse me. Every 10th attack you play deals double damage, as well as... Oh, Necrotic Potion would be 7 Necrotic Poison. Oh, so sad not to have it. I could take well-laid plans, but the thing is... Like, I guess I would... You can't keep ethereal cards, by the way, with well-laid plans. They still burn. So we can't use well-laid plans to keep the sneak up. We'd also need it in the open hand. We can use it to keep Nightmare, and we can use it to keep Catalyst. But those both exhaust. So it feels like after we play each of those, we have no effect from it. Ugh, it's woke bloke. Okay, I'm not taking another power here. That is to say, our final boss is woke bloke. Cool. I had to do that card draw first so that I could see whether or not I would have Nightmare with Sneak Up, which we do. Are any of you in danger of doing things particularly quickly? Not really, but I don't like Repulsor. Just because it fills my deck with trash. Yeah, time to sneak up. And finally, we'll Ghost Fetch for a weakness. We'll then just play to equalize the HP of the backliners. Hell yeah. I can hit those backliners right now because I'm intangible, so they can deal only 1 damage to me with their toxins. Alright, they're both dead. Okay. Hidden Blade Plus. Add a shiv to your hand and draw 3 cards. Deal 37 damage, draw 1 card. No. That's not worth 3 energy. It was worth it at 2. 3 energy is just so cumbersome. Backflip isn't even necessary for this deck. We don't typically have more energy than we have cards, and we don't typically have more cards than we have energy. We kind of got parity here at the moment, so we don't need a backflip. Upgrade those 2. Time for another boss. Ooh, hell yeah, Nemesis. What up, friend? It's my bad. I didn't realize I had the Pandem charge active. So that would have gone to 8. So 4 extra. I could have done 5 extra damage there. Okay. So this enemy has 3 different things they can do. They can debuff, which is to add 3 burns to your discard pile. They can also hit you for 6x3. When they're weakened, it's 4x3. Or they can hit you for 40. When they're weakened, it's 30. So, you know, keep an eye out for those. Those are the primary things against which we will be defending. So this turn, I'm just going to assume they're going to hit for 40. So I was about to influence everything that I possibly could to try and defend myself, but... Well, it would be 30 if they hit me for 40, so we would be safe for 1. Oh, well, we're fine. Give me Toxin Wave. Pantograph at the start of boss combat, heal 25 HP. Handy. Finisher at 0 cost is damn insane. That is upgraded, though. Dagger Spray, 24 in AoE. It's also pretty good. Draining Mist. Apply 3 necrotic poison to a random enemy 2 times. Apply -1 strength to all enemies. Exhaust. Upgrade doesn't change its cost. So it's... Deals... So you get 9 necrotic poison on a single enemy? So that's 18. 18, 8, 4, 2. So 8, 4, 2 is 14. 18 is 30. I mean, if it all goes on a single target, this is okay. I mean, the strength reduction is the big part of it. I don't think I want it. I mean, I could rest here, but I'm healing for 25 going into the boss fight, which is almost back to full HP. So I may as well just upgrade some cards. I also have the ability to suddenly apply weakness when it's necessary. That's probably going to be after the second phase is entered with the Awakened One. So instead of using After Image first, I'm going to use Sneak Up first, just in case it draws the Nightmare, because I would Nightmare After Image in this fight. Damn. Oh, thank hell. I am so glad that didn't come back with a card that I could actually use, otherwise I had beefed it pretty bad there. Gosh, if only we had calipers. I'm just gonna power up this Awakened One ridiculously. That's my jam, apparently. These frontliners, by the way, the first turn they do a ritual, the second turn they deal 6 damage, and then they benefit from the ritual, upgrade their strength by 3 and deal 9, then 12, then 15, then you can count. Excellent. If you're wondering why the numbers are off, it's because they're being weakened. I do want a Nightmare Crippling Cloud. And I've already played all of our past. So, yeah. I kind of also want to leave those Crippling Clouds here for later. I'll try not to play too many of them, because I am going to need something here to kill the Awakened One in its next form. And I'm kind of already pretty much perma-defended here. So for the moment, I'm going to try and treat the Crippling Clouds and Catalyst as though they are blank space in my deck, as though they are curses or status effects. Because, again, I actually said this at the time, a couple episodes ago. I want to say it was like 30 episodes ago in the main series. There was an episode where I did not really... Oh, this is garbage. I'm going to have to use the Spire to discard this. Otherwise, Ghost Fetch goes into my deck, because it won't exhaust. But it was... I'd played a deck. I think it was in a daily, in fact. I'd played a deck that was pretty good, and it killed the first version of the Awakened One fine, but by then, I'd also burned all of the exhaust cards in my deck, and they entirely comprised our win condition. So as soon as the second form of the Awakened One came up, I had no more gas. So I'm trying to protect against that. I'll use Ghost Fetch first here, so that then I can heal Hook to draw a card regardless, because if I did it in the other order, the Ghost Fetch would be unplayable and it wouldn't get anything. I haven't kept a super close eye on it, but I believe we've taken damage now. I believe we have officially taken damage in this fight. There we go. First attack here is for 40 damage, by the way. Just a 40 damage single hit. Well, it'll be 46, right, because of the strength, but we'll apply weakness. Then I get to heal Hook. Crippling Cloud. Swipe and... Yeah, 34. Cool. Yeah, 34 is the correct rounding as well. I don't Catalyst yet. I've still got 2. Yeah, I've still got 2 clouds to play. This turn is a multi-attack. I think it's 10 by 4, so it'll be 16 by 4. 16 by 4 gets rounded down to 12 by 4, so it should be 48. Oh, it's 3. Oh, that's even more generous. I counted the damage right, just not the amount of hits. We could take damage this turn. Oh no, you just voided us. That's annoying. I mean, not really. I just remembered I have way too much energy. We're pretty fine with this. And now, for the main event. Poisoned. Boy, howdy, this is a long episode. But at the very least, this one will end in success. Unlike some other episodes that may or may not be named. Super long episodes ending in failure, shaking my head. Alright, enemy's dead at the end of the next turn. Beautiful. Did we perfect every boss? No, we definitely took damage on the second boss. I think we also took damage in this fight. No, we did at the very start. Damn. Okay, we're not going to have, like, a reasonable score. Haha, 1-1, 1-1. 1. A red Spire's in the base. Red Spire's in the base. Ooh. So, yeah, we got the one perfect on the first floor. We got a bunch of champions. Well fed. Cool. All right, not bad, not bad, not bad. Pretty good, if I do say so myself. For the moment, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slay the Spire. The name of the mods have been Always Whale and Replay the Spire. They are linked in the description down below, as well as a video telling you how to install them. Remember, if you are installing the beta, the mods, make sure to switch off of the beta branch. They are not, typically at the very least, they are not updated for the beta branch. So make sure to switch off of the beta branch before you do it. My name's been Rhapsody. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we will see you next time.